In today's matchup, we've got a pair of running backs who are hoping for plenty of touches to come their way. It's Freeman's Falcons going up against Michael's Seahawks. What a surprise here. There's rain in Seattle as we're off to CenturyLink Field to link up with our broadcast team, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, no trip to the Northwest is really complete without a little rain, and we're going to get plenty of it here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Guyton. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Set to go now on a wet and rainy afternoon. And off we go from Seattle. This will be fielded at the 6. A beautiful fake. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action.
Automatic first down.
But you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time. Making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
The emergence of Thomas Rawls out of Central Michigan, chalk one up for the scouting department of the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year averaged 5.6 yards per attempt. Most of the NFL, of course, then he had that nasty ankle injury.
Well, he's back healthy and looking like the Thomas Rawls we saw in 2015.
So a penalty that can frustrate a coach so much, a mental error, and it'll back him up 5 yards.
Delay of game. Offense. Still second down.
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. On second down, here's Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he's brought down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Fresh set of downs here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36.
Holding. Offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? the guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Following the penalty, it's Rawls. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On second down, Wilson. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And the dreaded 3rd and long here for the offense. Third and long, it's Wilson surveying the field. And that is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and that'll bring up a 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
For the first time with Devontae Freeman. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And Devontae Freeman, he's now had back-to-back weeks with touchdown rushes after not having any in the first 3 weeks of the season.
Always liked him coming out of Florida State. I just wasn't sure he was a lead ball carrier. Boy, was I wrong about that, because he plays so hard in every aspect of the game, whether he's blocking, catching passes, running the football, you name it. Devontae Freeman's a heck of a player.
And he was a handful for Denver. Well, 4 quarters wasn't enough, my friend, and it turns out overtime is not enough. There's no PKs in American football, and this one is over dead even.
Can you imagine the teams in their locker room now going back over this game, analyzing every play, each guy thinking, if I had done this on this play or that on that, who knows what could have happened? Because let's face it, a tie can be exciting to go through to get to overtime, but it's not satisfying for either one.
Second down, and the offense needing 5 yards. Freeman again. And Freeman lost the football, but the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Nearly lost the football, but kept it after the fumble, but now they face a 3rd down. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. What a compliment to Devontae Freeman Tevin Coleman is. And in that Denver game, he just kept getting better and better. 163 yards from scrimmage.
Had 132 in the air. I mean, now we're looking at Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman, not as just, guys who replace each other, but backs 1 and 1A. I mean, it is phenomenal what they're getting done, and they are really jumping Atlanta's offense up in a big way.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Over the middle here to Wilson. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with Larry Ridley for highlights and analysis of our first half of play. Now, not too many highlights yet, at least in terms of scoring plays, that is.
Yeah, but hang in there. We might get something these last 2 minutes.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And incomplete. He was looking for Thomas Rawls there. And it's 3rd and 4.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well. And he didn't get that done on that play.
Third and 4. Here's Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion as we just saw there, that's winning football.
So on 4th down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. Back deep for the Falcons is Eric Weems. That's pulled in at the 32. Look at this spin.
Balance.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. Now the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. It's hauled in by Hardy. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. He's got time. And it's complete to Jacob Tamme. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
1st and 10. It's Ryan. Finding time. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. And Matt Ryan, we've seen him be a little fumble-prone in the past, and he was fumble-prone there.
Yeah, 2015, what did he have, 12
fumbles? Yeah, a dozen.
I think he's like second in the league, and that's not a stat you usually associate with Matt Ryan. He usually does a really nice job of taking care of the football. Sometimes, though, when he's really trying to make a big play, he forgets about doing that.
The Falcons defense gearing up as they take the field. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. And on 2nd and 10 now. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And now it's 3rd down.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down. Here's John Ryan now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we send you cross-country to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando with our halftime report, here's Larry Ridley.
So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Seahawks on 2nd and 7. Score stays the same, though, as they missed the field goal. They have it at the 44-yard line. Ryan's on point with the throw, and he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 32-yard line. A fumble would end up leading to a turnover. So that'll do it from here in Orlando. No points in this one yet, but we'll hand it back over to a man who's always on point. That's Brandon Godden.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. And here now come the Falcons. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. They come out here in the eye. Third quarter starts with a run by Freeman. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They've been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
And they'll add a DB in the secondary here on 3rd and 14. 3rd and long. It's Ryan. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Atama Rubin in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Matt Bosher now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
2nd down following the run. They stay on the ground. Rolls again. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And good to see Jimmy back out there moving okay after the ruptured patella in Week 12 last year. You've dealt with that injury, haven't you?
I have, and let me tell you, you know that expression, I feel your pain? I felt Jimmy's when it happened. Now, mine didn't happen quite the same way his did. His happened in the line of duty. He was playing in a game. For me, I was just coaching. And went up to try and catch a pass. Poof. I think for me, it was just mainly age. For him, he was actually playing.
But good to see him back out there healthy. Back now in Seattle, Washington. As we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the 4th. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a few little style points on the juke, but not much room to maneuver after that. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
On second down, here's Wilson. It's caught outright by Graham. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Tie game here. Time starting to run down. The defense really needs to try and keep this game tied, see if they can get the ball back for the offense. Now Wilson. He's got time in the pocket. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
They come up in an offset eye. On second down, Rawls. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And the first carry for the former Clemson Tigers, C.J. Spiller. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. A pressure spot now for a guy who's been here before, and that's Stephen Hauschka. This for the lead in the final stages. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. So it took a while to get anything on the scoreboard, but we finally have our first points of the contest.
And now this becomes a question of can they make this stand up? The defense has been impeccable thus far, and now they need to go out and finish strong.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. Here's Eric Weems now on the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
He's back to throw. And a catch by the new signee from Cincy, Mohamed Sanu. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And now they're in the hurry-up. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And it's second down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Ten yards still left on second down. Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early.
False start, offense.
The defense has put them in a tough spot. It's second and long. They'll look to throw. And that will be caught. But out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here.
I know for us it's fun. And it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league and we're going to training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of 1. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, wasn't able to complete it anyway.
Back to throw. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
All right, say it with me now. A lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep.
Wiley. Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. Surveying the field. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses that are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game. Although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause.
And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They go again with Rawls. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee.